So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to sit down with Lee and we're just going to talk a little bit about the community volunteering, particularly that Lee Brown's involved with. And I think first of all, Lee, so how long have you worked for the Society?
It will be 16 years in June.
So 16 years, that's many years of volunteering experience, which is great. So I think, Lee, it would be great if you could tell us about a couple of your volunteering projects you've been involved with.
As part of our role, I feel it's vitally important we get out in our communities. I think we're quite privileged in the position we are to go out and make a bit of a difference. And I don't want to sound too corny, but something's really hit home this week. We lost a colleague on Friday to cancer, and one of our main charity groups is the White House Cancer Trust. And this year they were 35 years old. They started in 1984. So to tie in that, we did a little thing called 35 sites for 35 years of the White House. Again, these shirts were donated by the local sports shop who are over the road, so we've built up a relationship with them over the last couple of years. We've built up some lovely relationship, and when you go out to these community groups, it's so humbling. I got took around the White House Cancer Trust building, and you get to meet all these volunteers who are working in the basement of this great big building, and they're spending their complete time volunteering, taking people to and from their appointments and doing the paperwork in their own time, and it's just incredible to see. So this is why I'm so passionate about getting behind it and getting my colleagues as well to get behind it. I think it was our first meeting in Womben, and we were going around targeting what we were going to do this year. And we set the bar. We said we're going to raise this much and we're going to do this, and everyone around the table says, no, you're not going to do that. But obviously with the help of my colleagues, I think we've absolutely smashed it this year. And like I said, it's been quite rewarding, and it's been quite emotional this week because it's really hit home what these organisations do.
And I guess that would really bring your team together, you know, in such a moment like that, which again is one of the great examples of the colleague volunteering we do, whether it's a really sad thing that happens or whatever it might be. Colleagues can really come together to make a difference. Do you find that? Do you find that colleagues can really come together to do that?
Yeah, it's team bonding at the end of the day as well. Like even as little things like litter picking for World Environment Day, you're taking colleagues out, and I deliberately pick colleagues that probably don't mix with each other, and they spend some quality time outside of work, and it's amazing how much it brings you together as a team.
So you personally, how do you think volunteering in the community has actually helped develop you?
I'm in a very challenging store where I'm surrounded by discounters, heavy competition. So I think it's really important the store builds relationships with local schools, local community groups.
Did you find, particularly working in a food store, that you become naturally connected to the local community, people that are coming in because of the outreach programs that we do? Do you sort of naturally make those connections?
Yeah, it's just like something as daft as I had a school teacher come into the store, can you donate a gift? And then he said, well, for our local school fete. And we said, well, actually, we can come down to the school fete, we'll do a store. And we ended up sponsoring the event. You get to engage with all the parents, members, and then you've got that connection with them when they come into store.
What would you say to colleagues or anyone that's thinking of volunteering? What would you sort of say to them, having experienced it yourself?
I mean, first and foremost, it's got to be something they're really passionate about. And like I say, it's just 4 hours of your time, and the participation is the most important thing. I think everyone's got to get involved, and when people do get involved, they really see what's involved in the background and stuff of organisations like this. So.
Fantastic.